Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 5 of season 4 here in the Southampton career mode. Strange bit of breaking news here that's popping up on the right hand side of your screen. Arsenal win race for Serge Gnabry. They've re-signed him and we face them as the first opponents of today's episode. We followed that game up with one against Fulham midweek in the Carabao Cup. Now I'm not sure how strong a team I'm going to field for that. We did have a little bit of a thought at the end of yesterday's episode with regards to which competitions we'd prioritise and which we wouldn't. I'm going to prioritise mainly the Champions League, of course, but I will try, well, not necessarily try my hardest in every cup competition, but I will not necessarily just brush one competition aside. If we can win a competition, then we can win some silverware. So I won't necessarily just disregard any particular competition. I did ask you guys about potential signings with regards squad depth for CDM / centre-back, someone preferably that could play in both spots. I've got 3 options here. However, one of them, Eric Dyer, I'm going to have to remove because he's just moved to Chelsea from Tottenham. Not the most realistic of signings, but that's what happens in career mode. It's just a video game. It really doesn't matter whether a signing is quote-unquote realistic or not. So I'm looking at Leander Dendoncker and Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. So what I'm going to try and do is offer Sofiane Boufala's make weight and see if the money that I've got currently is enough to tempt them into accepting a deal. I currently have about £10 million, as you can see, if I alter it slightly with regards to the wages. About £9 million and 70 grand a week, which would, I believe, cover the wages of both players. Dendoncker 40, Thomas Partey 71. So I'll give it a go. If they aren't willing to accept an offer with Boufala's make weight, then I will have to wait until Boufal is sold before being able to bring in a new player. They're looking to bring in a centre mid, so I'm going to have to end negotiations here for Dendoncker, but we'll be able to re-offer again before the end of the window, so that's not a problem. Let me see if we could perhaps get Thomas Partey in with regards a player swap for Sofiane Boufal. Are they interested in Spain in Sofiane Boufal? They're looking for a left back. Now, I just bought in Ryan Sessegnon and I've already sold Ryan Bertrand, so I'm not able to offer them a left back. So we'll go back in for both of those guys in a week's time. We'll concentrate on the football then now. We'll auto replace just for this game. It should just throw DeAndre Yedlin in at right back. We are missing now Odriozola. It has Odriozola for 3 weeks from an injury picked up in yesterday's episode. But everyone's growing well. As you can see, Kieran Tierney's up to 84 now. Kepa Arrizabalaga is up to 87. So even at this early stage of the season, players are growing all round. Wesley Hurt and Sessegnon's still there on the bench. So I don't have much squad depth, but adding someone that can play at centre-back and CDM will really boost, even just that one signing will really boost the effectiveness of our squad depth. So we'll see what we can do here against Arsenal, and then we'll play the game against Fulham as well. And hopefully between now and the game against Everton in tomorrow's episode, we'll be able to get ourselves an offer in for Sofiane Boufal and move him out, and then I should have the money to be able to afford either Partey or Dendoncker. So drop the video a like if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. Let's see if Serge Gnabry actually starts here for Arsenal. 5 at the back for Arsenal. Almeida at right back with Ben Davies at left back. Mkhitaryan, Welbeck and Gnabry, who starts on the left up top for them. Aubameyang, Lamar, Kolasinac, Ramsey, Lacazette, etc. on the bench. Not their full strength lineup here, Arsenal, which is surprising considering we're league winners last season, but hopefully we can brush past them and get ourselves 3 points. Tierney to Bailey. So there to Diego. Little back heel to Milinkovic-Savic across to Ruben Neves. Diego making the run. It's actually Leon Bailey, sorry, making the run. I just saw the pace and the acceleration and presumed it was Diego. Obviously, we now have Bailey in, who's just as quick, if not quicker, than Diego, if that was even possible. Lovely header, but wide. Comes off El Neni as well. Cross will come in, might look for Bailey again. In fact, it's Jeju that's there underneath it this time around, but cleared away more comfortably this time by the Arsenal back line. Gnabry on the run into Welbs. He's done well there, Welbeck, actually, to turn back and avoid the challenge. And then he into Serge Gnabry quickly to Jack Wilshere. Ball rolls always kill me off. I don't know why, but they always work against me. Wilshere with the turn, trying to stop him from getting on his left foot. Oh, first defender just falls over. It looks like they're going to take the corner short, and they are. Wilshere to Gnabry. And we'll rush away with Justin Kluivert. Get that into Milinkovic-Savic. Go on, Jeju. Play you in over the top. Nobody's catching you, sir. As long as he takes it in his stride, which he's done well. Oh, I tried to dink that, but I just couldn't quite get it out of his feet quickly enough. He's too fast for his own good there, Jeju. We could quite easily, and most certainly should, have been 1-0 up there, but that's a mistake from me. And apologies if you can hear the ice cream van that's going round outside. Intercepted by Milinkovic-Savic, just knock that back and then go for the 1-2. Nicely played through. This time, Jeju will not make the same mistakes as he did before, but he still won't score. Ben Davies clears it away for throw. 0-0 after 25 minutes. Kluivert will knock that back to Neves. There's Ward-Prowse. And I get that to Jeju through that gap. Was he onside? He was. Lovely turn. The finish again left wanting. Another top save from David Ospina. See what we can do with this one. Ward-Prowse whips in. Underneath that is Milinkovic-Savic. And you're not stopping that. Superb header. 1-0 Southampton in the 26th minute. I don't score many corners. Or at least I didn't score many corners. But I have been scoring a handful more this season. Or in recent games. I think it's got something to do with Milinkovic-Savic and James Ward-Prowse both being very, very good finishers and deliverers of the ball. Milinkovic-Savic, hell of a physical specimen as well. 1-0 Southampton after 26 minutes. Free kick for Arsenal. Gnabry's going to take that short to Callum Chambers. Okay, just Arsenal it about a little bit with some triangle football. Here's Mkhitaryan. Gimme. I tried to step in there and his footwork was too good. Here's Jack Wilshere. I'm quite happy for him to cross on his right. Oh. You know, sometimes in situations like that, the referee can give a penalty, so I just held my breath slightly. Mkhitaryan will deliver the corner. Welbeck will bring it down. He's got support. Didn't really see the ball on to Gnabry. Thankfully, Henry Harris is in the way there, and the keeper will come and catch. Otherwise, Almeida, the right back, might well have given them an equaliser there. Arsenal threatening from this set piece. Very close to 2 goals from corners in this game. Milinkovic-Savic to Kluivert. Drill that in there to Jeju. Very heavy first touch, which will open up the space for Milinkovic-Savic to get in and very nearly score his second. Monreal with a very good block. Ward-Prowse will deliver. Savic underneath it again, but 4 people end up on the floor there. And Danny Welbeck will try and clear and do so very well. Serge Gnabry showing good strength to hold off the defender there too. Arsenal slow in their counter though, so we're able to sink back into a defensive shape and hopefully we'll be able to keep them out long term. I will not be comfortable though, so long as the lead only remains at 1-0. Gnabry around the corner to Kolasinac. Justin Kluivert trying to keep up with him but can't. Turn by Kolasinac, decent delivery, well but with a header. Keeper almost ended up in the net with the ball there, but managed to get his punch away just before it crossed the line. Jack Wilshere would take the corner for Arsenal. Made a couple of changes, switched both wingers now, with Josh Sims and Sofiane Boufal coming on for Bailey and Justin Kluivert. Hopefully we can catch him on the counter with one of those 2 guys. Get ourselves a second to seal the game out. But as it happens, it's Arsenal that are on the attack. Serge Gnabry has a goal. Shot power too much. In at the near post. That's frustrating with 10 minutes to go. It's good footwork from him though, in the box there. Get it under control, turn, then get around the defender and drill that home. It's a very good goal to be fair. Well done Serge. It was just quite simply shot power. It was too much for the keeper. He tried his best to get there but nowhere near it. It's 1-1 with 10 minutes to go. Yedlin in there to Ruben Neves. Forward to Jeju. Savic is making runs but as is Josh Sims. And can he arrive in the middle at the right time? No. Unfortunately, well, I mean, he arrived at the right time. Unfortunately, the ball didn't meet him, so he didn't have the chance to tuck it home. I'm going to have to be wary now of Thomas Lemar on the counter-attack here for Arsenal. I made 2 changes bringing on wingers, but it was their wide men that have made the difference in this second half. Most notably, Serge Gnabry with the goal. Thomas Lemar has had an influence off the bench, and Danny Welbeck very nearly puts Arsenal in front with 5 minutes to go. Again, expect the corner to go short here as the second man is there. Lemar could cross. He's done well to work onto his right. Here's Welbeck. Back to Tom Onomar, little 1-2. Little cheeky back heel, but that's not worked, and now you're in trouble. Now you really are in trouble. Josh Sims on the far side is who I'll look for. Kolasinac will try and get there, but won't. Josh Sims too fast. Turn his side. Josh Sims, just going to bend it, or try and bend it home with that next touch. Very good tackle from the defender, a vital one as well. Could do with the tackle of my own right now. Josh Sims, the man that was trying to get there. Here come Arsenal on the counter. Welbeck. Gnabry. Held by Arthur Balaga. Jeez. It's getting a bit end-to-end now. And again, if that could have just made its way through, Josh Sims would have been clean through in behind. Yedlin with the throw to Sims, though. I'll go to the man in the middle. GAG made the wrong run, but I might still be able to find you via Sofiane Boufal. Drop the shoulder, maybe. Look for Milinkovic-Savic. That's not Savic, that's Josh Sims. He... It dropped back to me. I held my breath. So I wasn't sure where the ball was going to go, and that's the final whistle. He could well have won it with the last kick of the game there. Savic's shot fell back to him, but the defender flew in to get the clearance in. And that turned out to be the last kick of the game instead. A draw away from home at the Emirates. Disappointed not to have won that, but at the same time, Arsenal did have a couple of very good chances. We had to rely on Arthur Balaga a couple of times there just to ensure that we didn't lose the game in the end, especially in that last 10 minutes or so. Will we get an offering for Sofiane Boufal before the game against Fulham? Maybe. 2 emails. No, offers for Ruben Neves and for Kieran Tierney. Both will be rejected. Sorry, lads, but those... Wow, 48.4 million for Kieran Tierney. He's going nowhere, though. Kieran stays where he is. And maybe another bid? No. Okay, Fulham next. Fulham with David Button in goal. Cyrus Christie at right back. A 4-3-3 for them. I am starting Ryan Sessegnon in this game. So he makes his debut against his former team, which will be interesting to see how he gets on. Only 76 rated though, Ryan Sessegnon. Would fully expect next year on FIFA 19 for him to have a much higher potential. I would expect him to be, at this stage in Season 4, in the late 80s with regards to career mode rather than mid-70s. But, of course, this was his breakout season IRL, so no surprise that his rating isn't quite that high yet on this save, or in this save. But they have the first chance there, which is not necessarily overly concerning. I'm going to try and put in a good performance with Sofiane Boufal so that he registers as... Oh, that was a terrible header. He registers as in good form to perhaps try and boost a little bit more interest in him. We'll have to wait and see. I would... Like, when Atleti came in, I asked for 30 in the last episode, and they just immediately were like, not really, we don't really want to do that. They were very reluctant to pay anything over 22. With the options we have now for potential replacement, not necessarily replacement, but the other player we want to bring in for squad depth, I don't need to fully, risk losing a deal by trying my best to maximise how much I can get for him. I can quite happily accept something like 23, 24 million and still have enough to go out and buy either Thomas Partey or Leander Dendoncker for the rotation role in the squad with regards to centre mid and centre back. So, as long as we can get Sofiane Boufal sold before the end of the transfer window, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to bring in that final signing before deadline day ends on the 31st of August. Of course, next year things change in real life, and the transfer window... Good save. The transfer window closes before the beginning of the season, which will completely change how career modes are played out. It's going to be a big change in real life for clubs to adjust to, and it's going to be a big change in FIFA and Football Manager for strike off the bar for clubs to adjust to as well, because you're going to have to get your business done early. A lot of times I end up, waiting for feedback from you guys and getting my deals done late on in a window. It will genuinely completely change the way that I run my saves and my series next year with regards to the way that the transfer window works at the beginning of the season in the summer. So it's going to be an interesting one, but for now we're able to take our time and wait until the end of August to get any potential deals done. And Boufal steps in well there and is racing away now. We'll try a quick turn And he's going to get away from that man too. But unfortunately, Cisse comes across and puts a foot in. 20 minutes in. It has been Fulham being the better side. So I'm going to have to be wary that we don't get knocked out in the first round of the Carabao Cup here. Here's Williams. Looking for camera, but Hurt steps in. Savic into Borja trying to create my first chance now. We had a couple of runs forward with players that haven't necessarily led to anything in particular. Squeeze it out there to Richarlison. A little bit of footwork's gone well. Drill it into the middle. Button clears, but only as far as Mayoral, and somehow that's squeezed in. Not entirely too sure how that's ended up going into the back of the net there. We'll have a look at the replay. Richarlison just tried to drill it in. To be fair, it's a terrible cross. He sets it down and then scoops it, and the keeper's gone to ground and tried to throw his foot at it, and I genuinely think it's just bounced over his leg. It has. That's really unlucky for David Button. The defender flying in very nearly gets there as well. Keeper did the right thing. He just got unlucky that it bounced over him by about that much, by an inch or so. Southampton lead by 1-0 here, and I have to be honest, it's against the run of play, but I don't really care, to be honest. 1-0 up. As Williams turns, lays that back. Cisse, space here for Tom Kearney. Good finish. Very good finish from Tom Kearney. Fulham, quite the adversaries here. Definitely a good team. Nice little layoff. First time hit from Kearney. Accurate. Powerful. Equaliser. Savic, Romeu will drill that looking for Sofiane Boufal. Takes it in his stride well. Turns well. And will poke in Borja Mayoral. Could go back to Boufal here. We have done. Oh, very nearly. Just a deftest little touches. Kind of similar to Gieju's effort in yesterday's episode. But other way around. Ward-Prowse with the delivery, and no idea who actually won that header. I think it was Scott McDonald. Romeu will deliver again. That's actually a very good ball, and Wesley Hurt, the defender that flies in, puts his head where it could be, well, just smacked by a leg or a flying punch from a goalkeeper, but unfortunately he can't keep the header down, and we'll stay at 1-1. Milinkovic-Savic, Boufal. Little knock there, we'll go for the 1-2. He'll get there, Sofiane. Try and turn inside, that's nicely done. Lay it into Savic. Oh, who doesn't get an assist, but Borja Mayoral picks up the pieces. 2-1 to Southampton on the brink of half-time. I would have liked Boufal to get the assist there, to be fair, for trying to generate some interest in him, but he's actively involved in the move, which hopefully will be enough to put him in good form. And we are 2-1 in front now. Tom Kearney there. Ward-Prowse to Sessegnon. Obvious ball down the line here is Richarlison. I just need someone to be in decent space, which Savic is, and there we go, that's a third. That should be game over now. It's a simple finish, really. He just held his run slightly. You can see him rushing there, and then the defender just runs away from him. And the defender just doesn't acknowledge the fact that he's actually made the darting run towards the centre of the pitch, away from that channel, and moving away from the keeper at all times into the bottom corner. Milinkovic-Savic makes it Southampton 3, Fulham 1. We're going through to the next round of the cup. Corner for Southampton here. Ward-Prowse will deliver it. It's a good delivery, and well, Borja Mayoral went for it, didn't get there. Romeu does get there. It drops here to Richarlison. Put it back in there to Romeu, and around the corner here to James Ward-Prowse, who will fire us 4-1 in front. The keeper has been really unlucky in this game. The first one that bounced over his foot. This one he does get something on. Quite a big, quite a decent hand, but just can't get it to turn too far away from the bottom corner. Good angle for it as well. You can see here just something, but not enough. Should have done better, but still unlucky. 4-1. We're certainly going through now. Oh, lovely ball by Rui Fonte. Sessegnon does brilliantly to rise up against Espinosa there and win the ball. Nice jump on him actually there, Ryan Sessegnon. He hasn't had too much to do in this game. Their defenders have had a lot to do, and their goalkeeper just keeps picking the ball out the back of the net, but we're not able to make it 5 yet. But we have picked it back up there with Obafemi, and that ball won't quite reach James Ward-Prowse as he didn't quite read the flight of the ball. Drill it in there to Romeu. Unfortunately, a poor pass looking for Ward-Prowse again. And we will have to settle for 4-1, which is what I believe the score will end at, unless they score on this attack here, Fulham, which they could do, but Sessegnon again, good positionally. I've been impressed with him. As I say, he's not had much to do, but what he has had to do, he's done well. Gives me confidence that in bigger games he can do a job for me. Lovely ball across here to Williams, and they are actually going to pull it back to 4-2. That's frustrating to concede again. Practically the last kick of the game. That's really annoying, actually, but such is the way of things, and the referee probably will blow his final whistle sooner rather than later, and indeed there he does. 4-2 the win against Fulham. We're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. A little bit lucky with a couple of the goals, but overall the better side. Now, can we seal a deal for Sofiane Boufal before that game against Everton? We'll do, in tomorrow's episode, we'll do Everton transfer deadline day, and then the first game outside of the transfer window as well. But no, I don't want a match rescheduled. I want an offer for Sofiane Boufal. Please. Actually, that's a second match rescheduled. Christian Eriksen currently leading goal scorer, as well as Cook from Bournemouth in the league, but we're only 3 games in. International duty, buzz in. Guess who doesn't care about international duty? Games rescheduled. Does that mean then that the Champions League groups have been drawn? It does. We have Lyon in the group stage, Anderlecht and Sporting Lisbon, or Sporting Club de Portugal. That is a very winnable Champions League group. We also have Crawley in the Carabao Cup as well, which, as it happens, is also a very winnable game. Right, tomorrow then, we'll play Everton. We'll try our absolute best to sell on Sofiane Boufal and hopefully bring in either Dendoncker or Thomas Partey. But for now, that's going to bring today's episode to a close as we see Manchester United sign Oliver Torres for 33 million. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on any more. I'll see you next time.